What an elite performance by Arnau Tenas yesterday. And let's have a little bit backstory of his arrival at Paris Saint-Germain and his career until up to that. Obviously, he's a La Masia graduate coming from the Barça Academy and then moved up to the senior team where he never really featured for the Barça team, but he managed to win 3 titles, which is the La Liga, the Super Cup, and the Cup Super Cup with FC Barcelona. But his biggest heroics came with the under-21 and under-19 Spanish national teams, where he won under-19 Euros with the Spanish national team and came in second place in 2023 in the under-21 Euros. All of these reasons made him a target for Paris Saint-Germain, and he was acquired on a free transfer after his contract ended at FC Barcelona. Obviously, he hadn't featured a single minute up until this game. And even as reported by PSG reporter The Insider, exclusive PSG reporter, Arnau Tenas attracts interest from Qatar on loan. The goal is to take him on loan for a season, then return to PSG. The club has now filtered the complicated operation, but not impossible, because it would be necessary to convince Tenas and Paris Saint-Germain. What we get from this reporter is Paris Saint-Germain didn't really see Tenas having an important role in Paris Saint-Germain this season. With Keylor Navas still being here, we knew that he could be the backup for Donnarumma if he ever got injured or was in extremely terrible form. But obviously, Arnau Tenas in this game was a bit fortunate with the Gianluigi Donnarumma red card incident in minute 10. But a surprise substitute did not surprise Arnau Tenas, because he came on and, as I mentioned, had a masterclass. The saves that he made in this game were incredibly good, including his double save with his foot. But it was even more than that. He also attempted 19 long balls, only completing 4 of them. But what we saw was pretty much a playmaker at the goalkeeper position. There were many times you nearly found Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, and Achraf Hakimi ready to attack the opposition box with one of his long-range passes. But it was also his normal passing that not really surprised me, but shocked me how really important this is in the modern football game. Le Havre, for example, here, they were pressing us high up, but Tenas just finds a really good pass to Soler, who was making the run, and we remove out of the press. Again here, Le Havre trying to press us. Kangin Lee finds space in between the lines. Donnarumma would never dare to put this pass. Tenas can do that. And now we're in a delicate situation. Obviously, Gianluigi Donnarumma will be suspended for the next 2 games of Paris Saint-Germain against Nantes, and then a big game away against Lille. So Arnau Tenas will get to feature at least these 2 upcoming games, and there is a real question mark, obviously, about the Dortmund game, even though I still think the safer option would be Gianluigi Donnarumma. This will be Arnau Tenas' first Champions League game. This will be his second start in a professional Paris Saint-Germain jersey, so it's a lot of pressure to put on someone like Arnau Tenas. But if there's any manager that would do something like this, that would experiment like this, it's obviously Luis Enrique. Despite of that, we are in a very delicate situation, because we have 2 goalkeepers, young, promising. They're fighting for the same spot. Obviously, this is not similar to, for example, Courtois when he was at Chelsea with Perisic, or when Courtois was at Real Madrid with Keylor Navas. You had one young, upcoming player that was not in his prime yet, and one player that was past his prime that was still good, but obviously on the downside of his career in Keylor Navas and Perisic perspective there. Obviously, Keylor Navas came to Paris Saint-Germain and had great years from that, but he was still old when Courtois had joined Real Madrid. Arnau Tenas and Gianluigi Donnarumma, on the other hand, are both very young to be goalkeepers. So the competition between them, I think only one of them can take it, and then you sell one of them and have an experienced backup as your goalkeeper. The issue for me with Gianluigi Donnarumma is we're entering into his 3rd season now, and he's still making mistakes. I still think that this has been his best season compared to the last 2 seasons, but he's still making crucial mistakes. The mistake against Monaco obviously didn't cost us because we exploded them with 5 goals. The mistake versus Newcastle, if we didn't get that pen, we would have been on Donnarumma's head. Obviously, PSG missed so many chances offensively, but us conceding that goal so early on just changed the dynamic of the game, and it was a huge mistake by Gianluigi Donnarumma. We can even go back to his mistake versus Bayern München last season from the Coman header. This has to be stopped. And Donnarumma, look, you have a future. You still have a big future at this club, but you have to know that the warning signs are there. The first season was complicated with you having turns with Keylor Navas. Second season was complicated because the rest of the team were unfunctional for the rest of the season after the World Cup. But this season, I really don't see the excuse for you making these mistakes and so on. And now, Arnau Tenas, he's hungry. He was sitting on the bench every single game. And yeah, he's prepared. He was definitely prepared to come on and show Paris Saint-Germain and its fan base that there's a new goalkeeper in town. Let me know in the comments down below. Should Arnau Tenas be the upcoming goalkeeper for Paris Saint-Germain, and should he potentially start against Dortmund, or are we all a bit too reactionary and this is Gianluigi Donnarumma's spa for the future? Allez Paris!